Hey guys, Jay here. So let's talk about video games for however long this video ends up being. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about games for some odd reason. I know I don't do gaming on this channel anymore, but I decided why not for today because, I mean, this is honestly my channel. I can do whatever I want, so I'm going to. So recently I came across a few games that I really liked, and I've been talking about them a little bit on Twitter, and I thought it would be just a good idea to make a video on them and, you know, finish up that whole thing. So I'm going to talk about all those today. And so this might be a little long. I'm not 100%, which is why I said however long this video is going to end up being. Alright, so I know the Switch is out here, but I can't bring my PS4 to sit in front of you guys either, so it's in my other room. So I am going to be talking about the PS4 first. And while I talk about the PS4, one of my games is going to be for Switch, but it's also on the PS4, and I believe it's on Vita as well. So I just happen to have the Switch version of that game, but it goes in sequence with the other two games that I have on PS4 that are only on PS4. I wish they would have put those on Switch because that would have been awesome, but they didn't. So the Tuesday after I got back from KomoriCon, which was, I believe, the 28th or 29th of October, something like that, I bought 7 games, and most of these are from those 7 games. One of them I will talk about before I really introduce the Switch stuff, because there's a whole story with that I think you guys are going to like, and it kind of tells what I feel, the way I feel about a certain game, so there's that. Anyway, to start it off, I did pick up the Kingdom Hearts 1.5 plus 2.5 remix thing, whatever, for PS4, because I did sell all of my Kingdom Hearts games, even though I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and I know more than I should about the series. I sold all my Kingdom Hearts games, mostly because I needed money, but also because I knew the story. I didn't need to play the PS3 games. I did play Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on PS2. It was the imported version, so I did already play that game and beat it and did everything in the game. And I played Rechain of Memories before it came out in America, originally, so I've already played these games, and then I did play 1.5, the Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. I did play that, like, on the 1.5 game, the Final Mix on that, because I never got that version for PS2, even though I wanted it. So I played all these, and then Birth by Sleep Final Mix, I didn't really care. I care more about the story than I do anything else about Kingdom Hearts. So I just bought this so that I can have basically it's a controller refresher, because all my other games have different control methods, and I have to get back into playing Kingdom Hearts, and I do have 2.8 on my PS4, like, downloaded. I've had that since it came out. I pre-ordered that, but I don't know, I need to get back into playing the games so that when 3 comes out, I am not fumbling around and getting all mad because I don't remember any of the controls or anything. So yeah, I did buy this. So the next game actually does have a little bit of a story as well. This is a little shorter than the Switch story, but this is Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus, and I do have the Vita version, the original Tokyo Xanadu. I bought them at the same time when I bought those 7 games. This was the second game, you know, Kingdom Hearts was one, this was another. So I had to get this and a couple other games through, like, their online at GameStop. They had to, like, go into their computers and order them from other stores to put them in the same order, and then they shipped them to me. Well, this one didn't come. The other 2 came in one package. This was supposed to come in another package. It never showed up at our door. It actually showed up at another address, and, like, they confirmed that they sent it to the other address on accident, and that happens a lot. It's really weird. The street that we live on is a southeast, like, it's the street name Southeast, and then there's an exact match to our address, but northeast. So it's the exact same thing. There's only the difference is northeast and southeast, and it's one letter, S-E or N-E. And so they always send our stuff over there. We get some of their stuff sometimes, but apparently they haven't been answering their door or anything. So I don't know what's going on. We never got the game, so we had to call them back on, like, the 14th or something like that of November of this month. And I don't know when this is going up, but November 14th is when we called them, and we had to order another one. And I'm not sure if this is the new one that we ordered or the first one, because we ended up calling them about a week after that, so not too long ago, and then a couple days ago, this actually showed up on our doorstep. The day that they said, oh, well, we have to find one for you to ship because we don't have any in stock, because this is kind of an unknown game that nobody really is going to have in stock too much, and so they had to look for one or whatever and do all that kind of stuff, and that same day, this one showed up on the doorstep. So I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, if you like Persona, you might like these games. The only difference is the battle system. You do go like into the little dungeon labyrinth things. They are kind of labyrinthy. They wind around. But the difference is this is real-time battles and you don't have the Persona aspect of it. The Personas are basically your magic and your special attacks. So if you replace that with magic or something that consumes SP, or MP even, that's basically what you're doing. There's no magic on the wheel that you pick from Persona. It's basically just a regular RPG, and the Personas take place of the special and magic attacks. This doesn't have really magic. It does have elements. You do get a ranged attack and a regular attack. It's not as fun, I don't think, but it's still fun. I do like the real-time action because that is my favorite type of gameplay, but it's just not the best. Especially on the Vita, there is slowdowns on the Vita. This one I haven't seen any slowdowns yet. Oh, and also the EX Plus is because, yeah, right here, is because this has extra stuff in it. So there's like a whole extra story. So that's one cool thing about getting the PS4 one. The bad thing is you can't bring it anywhere like you can with the Vita, which is why I kind of wanted the Vita one in the first place. Also, I don't have the Vita case with me because they gave me one of those generic printed off cases that they use for their used games when they don't get a case for it. So I'm not going to show you that because I don't have to. Alright, so moving on to the three that one is a Switch game and the two are not Switch games. I have been pronouncing this wrong the entire time. I thought it was Atelier because I don't know how to freaking pronounce anything, but it's Atelier, I guess. And it says it in all the games, and it's just been a while since I played one. The last one I played was Atelier Rorona on PS3. I had the limited edition of that for a while. I got Sophie and Firis for the PS4, and Lydie&Sulle, or however you pronounce their names, on the Switch. So this one I was originally going to have the limited edition for, but I couldn't afford, we had some stuff happen at a convention where I needed to pay a little bit more for the room, and I couldn't afford this, the limited edition, so I had to skip it. Now they don't have any. All Atelier games are like the same thing, so there's not really much I have to say. If you've played an Atelier game, you've played all the Atelier games. The only real difference between any of these games is a little bit of the maps. So in Atelier Sophie, okay, this one's Sophie. So in this one, the maps are really tiny, and you kind of go from your hometown, and you can walk around the hometown type thing, the town, whatever, and then you can go out into the map, and there's, like, you pick an area to go to, and then you can see the end of the map from the start. Like, so there's one, the first map you go to is, like, you see the little, I think it's this side. On this side, you would see the little map thing up in the corner, and it's literally one thing. It, like, you know, normally a mini map would move around with you. It's so small that it doesn't need to do that. It doesn't take up any space, and it shows you the entire map because it's that small. But in Firis, they changed that. So this one has a huge map, and after you get out of your little town thing, which takes about an hour and a half, but after you get out of that, you get into this big open world, and it is crazy huge. Like your typical JRPG, action JRPG huge. Except all of these are turn-based games, and you're basically just fighting to stay alive, and then you gather things on the ground, and then you like break rocks open and stuff, and then you go and make things in your cauldron, because it's an alchemy game first and foremost. So, and then Lydie&Sulle is the same thing. It does have a big open map, which I kind of like. It's not that big. It's nowhere near the size of Firis, but it is nowhere near as small as Sophie. So that is way better already. So this one's actually really fun, and you get to switch between which character you want to play as, and they both play differently. So let's talk about what I was going to say about the Switch, the little story that I had. So this might take a little bit of time. Again, I don't know how long it's going to be, so sorry if it takes too long. But this is a nice story, and I really like it. So this is about VIII. Now, a while back, before I got those 7 games, I got this and Knights of Azure 2. Knights of Azure 2 sucks. It is, you know, kind of an action RPG, but I hate the labyrinthy feel of it, where you go into a labyrinth, kind of, and that's your map, but you have a really tight time limit to do everything. And it just kind of takes away from the adventure, you know? And so you're pretty much just doing a bunch of missions, and that's it. And it's really boring. This one isn't. This one is a full action RPG where you have full range of your weapons. You can use as long as you're outside of your main base thing, because they have like a main camp setup. I'm not going to spoil the story, but they have like a main setup where you can talk to the NPCs and stuff like that. And then when you go out into the field, you have full use of all of your abilities and all your items right away. There's no encounters where you start a battle. All the enemies are just on screen and you go and fight them. Think Kingdom Hearts, where you can swing your Keyblade around it literally anytime you want. You can use your magic whenever you want, even if there's nothing around. So I really like that. That's my favorite type of style. So that really made me like this game a lot. And the music is just beautiful. It's got a pretty good heavy metal soundtrack, and I am a metalhead at heart, so that, you know, I like that. So the story with this game. So before I bought those games, even before I bought this and Knights of Azure, I was thinking about selling my Switch. I was just going to get rid of it. I didn't want it anymore. The last time that I actually turned the Switch on was April, before all this. So this game literally made me not want to sell my Switch. That's how good this game is. That should say a whole lot about this game. So we have 2 games to go, and before I get into my last one, I just want to talk about this one really fast. It is Diablo 3. I never really got into Diablo 3. I was into Diablo 2 back on PC, like the early 2000s. When we first moved in this house in 2003, we were playing Diablo 2. I think it was the second expansion or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it was, I know it was like it said the second something, and I don't remember exactly what it was called, but we were playing that game for a long time. That was like the biggest game we had. And then when 3 came out on the PS3 and Xbox 360, we weren't sure that it was going to be even that good. So I never picked it up. And it's on Switch now, and that means I can take it wherever I want. And I think you can hook 2 Switches up through like Switch sharing, you know, where you're not online, and you can play co-op. So if that's true, then that'll be awesome, because I can play this at conventions with people like Atlas while we're in line. We're also planning on cosplaying from it whenever that happens. I'm not 100% sure when, but we're going to try to get costumes done for this. We'll see what happens. If we do, then there will be build vlogs of that, but I don't know. Alright, and on to the last game. This is the last game because, much like Ys 8, this is an amazing game. Where this game made me want to keep my Switch. Shining Resonance Refrain is my all-time favorite Switch game now. I cannot stress enough how amazing this game is. I just love it. I haven't beat it yet, but I already love it. I'm quite a ways into it though, but the point is, I haven't found anything I don't like about it. While I do like the action RPG all the time of this game doesn't have that. You do run around and there's monsters on the screen, but much like, I believe Final Fantasy 15 did it, but 13 did it as well, where you touch the enemy and it starts a battle, but where I think 15 didn't go to a battle screen, it just lets you use your weapons. And 13 went to a battle screen. It's like in between that, I guess. It says encounter. And if you go from behind, it's an advantageous encounter where you get to strike first, and the enemies are all paralyzed for like 10 seconds. And if they hit you from behind, same thing happens to you. But you don't get to use your weapons outside of the battle. You can use everything else, but you can't attack anything. You just run up to the whatever the monster is, and it starts the encounter. More monsters will appear, and then it'll have like this big circle that you can't escape from. Well, you can escape from it, but it's like your arena where you don't go further than that. Other than that, the voice acting. The voice acting is amazing. I play it with the English voices. I'm not sure if you can do Japanese voices with this one or not, because I don't care. One of my favorite voice actresses, Brina Palencia, plays actually her, the character on the cover art. And her name is like Xanadu or something like that. I just searched to see if it was on the back of the case or not, but it's not. I think that's her name, Xanadu. Yeah, she plays her, and she does an amazing job. And there's a couple other anime voice actors in this, but all of the voice acting is amazing. It is done very professionally and very well for being such a game that nobody really knew about. So those are all the recent games that I've been playing. If you've been playing any of these, let me know. Like I said, right now, Shining Resonance Refrain is my favorite Switch game now. That might change when more games come out, because I'm going to be getting games next year. Alright, that's it for this video. If you like it, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, maybe subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.